No, 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 no.
And with that amazing introduction, hello and welcome to the third round of the RP series here at Imola. We are just jumping into qualifying now, and you can see the cars are leaving very quickly out onto the circuit. An interesting bit of news I've heard today, as I'm with my co-commentator Jack, who I was going to just throw in, however, here he is.
Hello. What is this wonderful news?
From what I hear today, the 861 car, driven by Martin Kovacs, is on a controller.
Yeah, so some interesting news in regard to the 861 Lexus. The sim racing gods have run afoul of our Hungarian friend here, and has decided that they hate him. He's too good, and he must be handicapped for the next about 15 to 18 working days while he waits for new equipment to be shipped to him. So potentially, if shipping is not on our side, the next race may also have our lead car using analog sticks.
And I was having a chat to the driver earlier, and one thing that I heard, right, as I think someone's just joining in the server there, so we've got a little bit of jumpy. But one thing I heard, which you might find quite funny, I certainly did, was that Kovacs expects not to have any analog sticks at the end of the race.
Yeah, so Imola, not normally it's not a calm affair of a track. There is quite a lot of aggressive corners. As we saw in the Formula 1 race last week, can be a bit of a hard track to drive round. Doing that all with about 2 centimeters of movement left and right means you're probably going to have some amount of stick drift by the end of this. So you're looking, months of wear in a single race.
As something has just decided to ask for admin privileges on my PC. That was not great timing. So no, as I was gonna say, I think what we need to think together as commentators we are is just to thank the sacrifice that this controller is creating today for us.
Yeah, we should thank the for the love and kindness of this controller that it has willingly offered itself up as tribute for Section Kovacs. We're gonna have an absolutely absurd race. Slightly less cars than in previous rounds, but good mix of our platinum, silver, and bronze drivers that will be with us today, as they're out on qualifying now.
Yeah, and really, as well, we haven't mentioned, as I found out earlier, the interesting rule of today's race.
Oh, yeah, no, we have a slightly, let me just double check, because there is a very interesting little thing that was put up.
It's 2 mandatory pit stops, but no refueling allowed.
No, so I don't think it's refuel not allowed. Yes, so one tank of fuel, no refueling, 2 stops for tires. So each pit stop is mandatory tires. 6-minute race, which means we're going to see some potential fuel saving from certain cars, as well as some absolutely absurd push strats. There will be no tire saving. You'll be pitting before your tires even start to fall off. So you're going to be on fresh tires the entire time. It's just about having good, clean pit stop entrances and exits, getting those tires back up to temperature as soon as possible, and not making mistakes on them, because damaging a set of tires early, you don't want to have to go longer on the tires than you'd have to by pitting early. It should be sunny all day, very little wind, 26 degrees ambient, 34 degrees on the track temperature. Doesn't look like there should be any chance of rain. So we are going to be dry tires, push, see if something weird happens. Hopefully, that is the plan.
And as well, I want to just come back to a point you made there. Getting a good pit entry and pit exit at Imola is quite difficult with the pit entry. I don't know if you remember, this was quite a long time ago, relatively. The Imola 4 hours, the amount of drivers that got stop-goes for speeding in the pit lane. Because once you hit that corner, you brake.
Yellow flag coming into Agua looks like Miguel Koch in the number 9 Ferrari had a small off or just slowed down to let a car through. There was a yellow flag waved for that car in volley.
Yeah, he seems to be driving okay as he goes under, as a friend of mine calls it, the pizza box bridge.
Yes, absolutely amazing corner into the Lesmos, and then into that very, very tricky pit entrance. One of those things where you kind of have to concede position sometimes. I've seen a few races in iRacing and other events where a car on the left-hand side coming out of the second Lesmo, because you can go side by side in some of the smaller classes of cars, is the car that needs to pit, so they have to drop down, potentially cause incidents behind. So you want to position yourself for that pit entrance. Don't want to be in a positional fight coming out of the Lesmo and drag racing down when your plan is to pit this lap.
Yeah, I also just want to take a moment to get in one of my best quotes ever. You can go side by side in anything, anywhere, if you're brave enough.
Yeah, this is it's a relatively wide track. We've seen some great races here, both in real life and sim racing as well. One of the interesting things now is that this technically isn't the up-to-date version of Imola, as these massive black, red, and white runoffs in Agua Minerale, and I can never remember the corner before that, they always allow gravel up to about 2 feet from the track edge, so making it much more punishing if you go wide or go sideways. Like on the exit of this that chicane there, that tarmac strip is now all gravel, so we don't get to enjoy that, but it means yes, you can go side by side most of the way around this track.
Yeah, I remember seeing in a server that I'm in, not for this race, but a friend of mine's having a race in ACC here as well at the same time. He was, thank Christ it hasn't been updated yet. I don't need this track to be any harder than it is.
Yeah, Imola already not an easy track. It doesn't look it from track maps or watching it, but when you're in there, it's I remember it's like 4 chicanes in this track, or three chicanes and Agua Minerale.
It depends on how you classify a chicane, I suppose.
Yeah, well, small poultry bird, yeah.
Way to get FIA Grade 1 status.
Yeah, that's it. Speaking of FIA Grade 1, first time we've had a what I would say a Grade 1 Monaco race today in the Formula 1. Absolutely a race of all time. Definitely did happen. For those of you who haven't watched it, I won't go much into that. If you are cautious of it, it was a decent event.
Cars went round a circuit at speeds that would trigger speed cameras.
Yes, but in Monaco, I don't know if you pay speed camera fines. Probably just comes out of taxes or something,
I don't know. I remember. Was it the Miami GP? The fact that the cameras were actually flashing for the cars.
Yes, in practice 2, I think they forgot to turn them off. It was not the entire way around, but it was fun.
It's quite entertaining. Imagine that you get a citation at the garage.
Yeah, that was interesting. Get to go back to Vegas in about 6 months or so for F1. First race was actually pretty decent. Wasn't unexpectedly good, I think is a fair way to describe that. Would you say, Husky?
I don't know. I didn't watch it.
People were expecting an awful race. It was fine. So better than expected. It's just if race 2 can also if race 2 in that can produce a decent spectacle, I'm not that upset. It's so far it's better than Miami. It's not hard.
Fair enough, but
Speaking of things that are
onto topic. Currently, your quali leader is Giovannini at 1:48.67, followed very, very closely by Chris Lear, someone whose name that I am continually going to butcher. So I'm pretty sure. Remember the name because I haven't yet got chat open. I'm pretty sure Kara's likely going to be in chat going, "Come on, it's 0.003. You can get him."
Yeah, I was going to say things that look like better than Miami is the race for pole right now. Absolutely incredibly close. Robert Moe, probably the crowd favourite, at least from the Racing Pals perspective. Oh, if I could stop hiccuping like a madman. Just got to remind myself that I'm not a fish.
William Giovannini.
Yeah,
he has shown himself
wonderful.
to be very, very strong in that BMW. I mean, his qualifying performance at Spa last race was really good. I think he was on the second row.
Yes.
I believe, and he's just gone through again, improving his time at 1:40.720. So a 10th clear of the 158 car behind, and 3/10 clear of Robin Moe. But that is going to be a very, very interesting quali fight, as we've got 3 minutes left. So for a lot of drivers, they'll get 2 more laps if they stay out. But obviously, it's all depending on fuel and if they've been hitting the curves too hard and they're getting pressure loss or anything such like that.
Yeah, so there's going to be some interesting things on quali. Only a couple minutes left of it. Not really much to change. There's not been any changeable conditions so far. Got a little bit hotter on, sorry, a little bit colder on the track. Dropped a degree. Less cars out, I suppose. But still all to go on this. It's not like it's nothing left. People are going to get one more run in. Giovannini gained about 1/10 and a half up on his previous best. Now in the 1:40.7, which is a impeccable lap. Best overall, but no best sectors. So all of that time, he lost about half a tenth in sector 2, half a tenth in sector 3 to Chris. Gained 3/10 on him in sector 1 on that lap. But our best sector 1 is actually by the 74 car, James Andrews, in one of the 4 Mustangs.
Currently provisional pole for the silver class as well.
Yeah, Mustang looking like the car to beat for silver class. 4 of them.
Pretty sure after his last race, as a lot of the Mustangs had in the last race, that this race is going to be a little bit of redemption and vindication, I would say.
Yeah, however, with the new race, a much heavier bop has been applied to that car. It's also had some tweaks from Kunos. It released in a worryingly good state. I think is the correct way to describe it. It had better brakes than any of the mid-engine cars. It had better acceleration than any of the other big cars like the Lexus and the Bentley. Had great fuel, and the number 33 car was yellow flagged for a second there. The 33 car of Aaron's.
I think that was Aaron's just returned to pit, ended his qualifying there.
It must have been validated the lap on that hairpin.
Now,
right,
right?
Yeah.
You say that this car's had some tweaks, and you've listed some tweaks. However, for people like myself, on a scale of when Ferrari launched and when Audi R8 LMS Evo 2 launched, how broken was it?
So, I would say, for just overall in this game, probably not the best car that's been released overall. compared to the IRL counterpart, the original release Mustang GT3 is probably the most unbalanced car Kunos have released in comparison to how good its real life car is. We're talking like it potentially was the best car in the game for that small patch period.
For that week.
For that, like, I think it was like 9 days. It was the best thing you can be doing. It's essentially impeccable at what you would consider to be the tracks it should be weaker at, twisty turny, like, you know, your Laguna Secas and the ilk. But because it has so much low end torque, you could be in a higher gear and get the same amount of acceleration as someone else, so you just have better fuel conservation.
Yeah, because we're remembering back to Spa, they were 5th gear up past the Rouge and then down to the chicane there, weren't they?
Yeah, so at the end of the Camel Straight, they were still about 500-600 RPM from hitting 6th gear. And that's flat. You have to lift a little towards the end of the stint, just for your tyres. But yeah, the car is absurd. But what they've done is they've removed some of the braking pressure from it, so you have to brake a little bit earlier. And they've removed, I believe, some low end grip in the car, so it's not as good in the low revs. It's still probably the best low rev car, but it is not. It now has a weakness. It's going to be slightly weaker out of corners like Agua Minerale, like the Lesmos, where it's those second gear corners that you're kind of in between first and second in the Mustang because of how the engine is tuned. Where it kind of has those little, I wouldn't say a mishap, but it's not where it wants to be. It's not a happy car in that scenario.
Yeah, and now, as we were talking about that, it's currently the countdown now for the race to start. Here is your qualifying order. We'll start with Platinum. As remember, 3 classes, essentially 3 separate races on the same track. So taking the overall lead and pole position in Platinum is number 28 BMW M4, driven by Giovannini, followed in second by Chris Liot, the 158 Porsche 992. Robin Moe coming third in the Bentley Continental GT3, run and created and probably mechanicked by Small Pippi. In fourth in the Platinum class is Zachary, the 101 BMW, followed finally by Kovacs in the 861 Lexus. But only
the DualShock 4 powered Lexus.
Under a second between Giovannini and Kovacs. So that's pretty good. Moving on to silver, it's a Ford lockout. And on the front row, James Andrews and Jurgens Oosthuizen, the 74 and 12 Ford Mustang, a 141.080 is the pole time for silver, followed by Daniel Scott in the 128 Mustang in third, Pagani in the 444 Aston Martin V8 Vantage, rounding out fourth, Jennings, the final Mustang in the silver class, the 99. And then Demler, the McLaren 720S 913, coming in at the back of that grid. And then in
what you'll
bronze,
notice as well quickly in the silver is you have 4, 6, 8, and 10 all in the Mustang. All those Mustangs are nose to tail on the right-hand side of our grid.
Yep, they are indeed. Now, moving on to bronze. Miguel Koch comes in to take the pole position there with a 142.8 in the number 9 Ferrari, followed by Akil in the 256 BMW, Schoblem coming third in the 951 Honda, in fourth is Aarons in the 33 McLaren, in fifth is Kaj in the 27 BMW M4, and then rounding off that grid is Nicholas van Gelru in the 21 McLaren. And now I'm a bit out of breath, but we are just about getting ready for the rolling start.
Yeah, so they should be off. Giovannini will get to take them away for a parade and warm-up lap round Imola. One of I say this with a little bit of hyperbole, but not that much. One of the best racing circuits that we have access to in ACC. It's just absolutely, it's stunning. It's deceptively complicated to drive, and we'll get to see it one more time as I come around the first chicane, 1 and 2. Long sweeping right of 3. Kind of a tricky corner. Some curbs are going to be quite interesting there. As they come round to Villeneuve, the chicane named after Jacques himself. It's a very anti-Villeneuve, 5 and 6 as they come up to Tosa. One of a very technical hairpin. One thing to mention that I've seen some of the testing from the Ford Free, Andrews, Oosthuizen and Scott. They do not care about your curbs, Imola. Those little yellow sausage curbs are just unaffecting the Mustangs. So as they now come round corner 9, Piratella will be absolutely key to get Piratella's correct every single lap here. Quite a complicated corner. Loads of good runoff as well. Then probably one of the more famous corners in motorsports, Agua Minerale. 11, 12 and 13. Lots of runoff, lots of rumble. Those curbs on the inside, the Mustangs are going to consume them. And on the exit as well, they can be careful not to get track cuts. But if the game hasn't, or if stewards and the system hasn't figured out how to deal with those, they're going to get scot-free into Variante Alta. Tight. Right, left complex. Big old sausage curbs on the inside. Again, the Porsches, BMWs are going to get affected by those. The Ford, maybe the Bentley as well, is going to not really care. The long run down, 16, 17, although these aren't really corners, you're going to be flat out, trying to maximize.
Is tell me the other side of that bridge does not look like a pizza box.
Does look like a pizza box, I'm not going to lie.
It does. into the Ravazzas, the Lesmo style corners. Again, you can go side by side here, not recommended. And we are lucky enough that we do not use the Variante Bassa MotoGP layout as they come readying up the line. Giovannini will have the lead of this race. Chris Lux is coming up quite far up the inside of him. Should be careful, you don't want to be ahead of the leader when it goes green. And I'll leave those famous words off to my comrade, my partner in crime, Huski. Take us away, boys. As we get ready, I have to remember it's not that one. We go green at Imola for round 3 of the RP series, and already Chris has jumped Giovannini at the start, but there is contact behind. I think that's Frederick Schoblem in the wall there as well.
And there is a big hit with James Andrews and
it's one of the BMWs. It's Zachary. Zachary's round. That's the first chicane, turn 2 and 3. That is not ideal.
Yeah, James Andrews has got the inside. He's gonna push people out of the way. He's gonna want those positions back. That's going to be a Mustang with anger.
That is indeed. I mean, the McLaren sort of just drove onto the sand there and lost not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 positions by the look of it. And it looks like he's about to be taken by a 5th here if Schoblem can hang it down the inside, but it just looks like that car loses traction.
Early winners, look, Giovannini, Chris, Giovannini and Mo kind of got a 3-second gap now because of those early incidents. Kovac up to 4th in the Lexus with a worldly of a challenge to do. But it looks like everyone's kind of away now as groups are going to start picking themselves. Oh, we've seen a 951 with the yellow flag on it coming out.
Someone's gone round somewhere. He's just getting himself started up again.
On the exit of Alta, it looks like.
And we've already got a car in the pits. Kovacs is coming into pits, but so too is Daniel Scott.
They're gonna try and get this first pit stop out of the way immediately. They do not care about track position. They care about running long.
And James Andrews, in amongst that, has just lost the position to Demler through turn 2 and 3, which turn 1 is not turn 1.
It is.
It's not.
It's not. It's turn 1 is turn 20.
Oh, here we go. James Andrews on the outside. He's trying to swoop it round. Is he there though? As we cut past the trees. He is. James Andrews up into 7th position. That was a very good move from him there.
Yeah, getting it done before Piratella is so important. It's very hard to get past a Mustang in Minerali and Alta. That middle sector of the track being quite narrow compared to the rest of it. But now the boys who pitted early now coming out of those pits, so it's about 2/3 of a lap in time to get down the pit lane, get your tyres changed.
Yep, Daniel Scott's just coming out. Now he just gets the car started. And off we go. Zachary, however, after that collision on the first lap, is making moves, and Daniel Scott has picked up a 30-second stop go.
Huge penalty, speeding in the pit lanes. Stop go 30. It might have happened twice to get upgraded. That is the risk of pitting early. If you haven't settled into the groove yet, you're not in a racing mindset. You just want to get go because you've made this slightly risky strategy. Small mistakes, that has to be served soon, and that is probably the race over. He's still in point scoring positions just because of our points do run to the bottom normally. But yeah, he has to finish the race, so he's going to have to sit there and hope for a miracle. No safety cars coming to save him. No red flags coming to save him.
Now up to the front, Jack. It's a 0.4 second gap between Chris and William, the 158 and the 28 respectfully. That Porsche, as far as I can recall, hasn't run in the lead of the class yet this season. He got an amazing start, and now how do we think Christian is going to handle defending the lead of the overall race?
I think for this one, he's probably got the best chance because he is essentially in control of the strategy. If he wants to go early, everyone has unfortunately to go late on each set. If he wants to try and get a late pit stop, try and build up a gap, he's got pretty much all control of what he wants to do. Problem is, if you mess up what you want to do, that's your race over.
Yeah, and Daniel Scott has come in the next lap immediately to take that 30-second. But as we've gone through the final sector, that gap has widened to 6/10. So that Porsche clearly, at the moment, has the edge. I mean, last lap, 142.07 versus a 142.20. So there is clearly time to be gained by that Porsche over the BMW. So we'll keep an eye on it, but keep in mind, Robin Moe behind as well in the number 3 Snoopy car. He's trying to close that gap. It's about 5/10 aside between Giovannini and Looked in front and Moe behind. But even then, as they've gone through Toza, that gap between P1 and P2 has grown to 7/10 on my screen. What
just
you see
on my end
on stream, I think, is between sectors.
Ooh.
Is it not?
And a kill just goes wide on the exit of Piratella. Like I said, you've got to keep it tight, and Andrews gets back up to 6th position. He's made that early contact, not really affect him that much. With the double pit stop happening, that's going to be an interesting thing to watch.
Yeah, with a double pit stop race such as this, you sort of do come in and essentially the drive down the pit lane and the tyre change gives you a chance to reset and get yourself back in as well. So this is really, I suppose, in the same way such as the NASCAR stage system.
Yes.
Oh, there's contact! Jennings gets tapped on the rear end by Zachary and is sent completely into the barrier. Let's watch this again. Have a look. The BMW comes out, just taps the rear end of the Ford and just pivots Jennings right into the barrier. He thankfully misses the other one, but that's going to cause an early pit stop for the 99 of Robert Jennings there.
Have a look. Yeah, a absolutely horrific thing to happen right into. It's going to cause some major damage for Jennings. You have to go back and have a look into it. Pit crew are not going to be happy with that. Get some damage on the rear end is never good. Let's just hope I'm not for that.
This is a funny story that I know from a friend of mine. That I'm not allowed to say who he works for or what discipline they're in or anything like that. He's told me not to. He said, you can say what I do on stream, but just please don't say who I work for, what discipline we're in, etc, etc. Which, I mean, fair enough. You know, that's his wishes. If he wants...
And while you're saying that, James Andrews gets a little bit of the grass again on the exit of Minerale. Spins it around, hits the wall. All on his own steam.
We're going to have a re-watch of that. Yeah, just tiny bit of grass. Oh, bang.
That's a huge hit.
That's going to be a very unhappy car there. And the BMW just sat there going, nope.
Huh?
But as I was saying, yeah, a friend of mine, he works as a pit crew. He's a pit crew mechanic. And what he states is, I know my job has gone well if I haven't had to do my job over a weekend.
Really good. Speaking of doing their job, Andrew's coming into the pits probably earlier than he'd want.
But now, side by side, Robin Moe trying to look for the cutback on Giovannini. It's side by side, the two boats. This is the yacht race of Imola as they go through Toza. Who is going to come out in front here as they're still neck and neck? What car has the straight line speed? It looks like it's going Bentley, but then the inside for the BMW, there is contact.
Little touch, little door bang sends Robin Moe wide out of Piratella. He's going to have a look coming out of Agua Minerale as well. Like I said, both these cars a little bit boaty, a little bit high off the ground, but that Bentley V8 roaring to life coming down to Variante Alta.
Sorry. As they were battling, Christian has got a 2-second gap to the BMW. He must have seen that battle happening in his mirror and went, thank you very much.
Yeah, he's going to get that Delta reported to him. He's going to be gaining temps on these two as they're fighting for second step on the podium. Probably like an advantage in the pit stop race. That's going to be a drag race all the way down to Tamburello. 21, another yellow flag going out for Van Goulen. He's stopped in. He's getting under his own steam. He's off track, but he is getting going. Robin Moe jinks to the side, loses a little bit of time.
He does, and that's going to give Giovannini clean air as well. We've seen how good this BMW driver is in the clean air. We've seen how good Moe is in the clean air as well. This is going to be very interesting. As further back, we see Ian Demler going down the inside of Akil at turn 2. And that doesn't gain the McLaren any positions in class, but it does move him closer, ever so closer, to the top 2 in his classes. On the sand, can Akil make the most of that little dip of the wheel? Doesn't quite look like it. James Andrews is in there as well. He has just come out of the pit lane after that collision with the barrier.
He's a lap down, he repaired some damage. Yeah, probably got a new front bumper put on. They would have checked, probably got the hammer out and bashed him in the head a couple of times being an idiot. it's issue between engine and throttle. You know, just engine and seat.
Picnic. Problem in chair, not in car.
Yeah, that's the one. But yeah, lap down. These are the people he's gonna be fighting for position once all is said and done.
Yeah.
So he's gonna not be looking at the blue flags. He's gonna.
Do you know something I've realised? Right, and I shouldn't laugh about this because it does seem kind of harsh. The bottom three are all silver drivers, so there is the battle at the back for 4th, 5th, and 6th in silver.
However, although Jennings is, relatively close, about 3 or 4 cars back behind, and Daniel Scott is 2 laps down and on the other side of the track, so he is just in a recovery drive situation right now.
We've seen weirder things happen.
Andrew's big power slide out of Tamburello. Hire's not going to be enjoying that.
No, and technically this is the damage pit stop was down as his first. So he's only got to make one more. It's obviously probably not ideal with his strategy that he's had to take a pit stop when he has, but definitely gonna be making the most of it, going, right, I've taken it, what can I do with the strat? As up in the lead, that gap has actually widened to 2.9, almost 3 seconds between the 158 car and the 28 BMW. So that is something completely playing for Christian, as it's 3.1 seconds, 3.2 as we cross the timing line. He is going to be so happy with that, and so too is Robin Moe, because he is back to within a second of Giovannini.
Yeah, it's been a race for the next 46 minutes between those two gentlemen, and I think if they keep fighting, Chris is going to get a nice buffer. He can have a slightly slower pit stop and still not lose too much on them, just because they've fought a half a second gap down to up to a 3-second gap for him. It's just kind of playing into the 158 garage's hands right now.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Cora, who always comes and watches when they can, is looking at that timing tower and going, "Come on, Chris, you can do it." Probably in I think a native tongue of German. However, maybe not. I'm not going to make assumptions.
Well, they could be doing it in Spanish for all we know.
Yeah, true. I know how to say the library is red in Spanish. That's about it.
Biblioteca.
Yes, biblioteca is roja. If I ever wind up in Spain and need to just point out that the library is red.
Huh?
You never know.
I think the only interesting thing I know about Spanish is if you spell Paul in English and you write it down to a Spanish person, that is not what it says.
Oh.
It's
no.
Paul.
Oh dear. Oh no.
So if you know any Pauls in your life, start calling them Paul. Confuse the ever-living hit out of them.
I confuse someone I work with.
Speaking of ever-living, Mr. Kovac's pit stop strategy is kind of working itself out. He's already got up position. He hasn't been, as far as I can tell, hasn't been lapped yet.
And someone that is in the pit lane is Christian, the 158 car. So he's chosen to go now. Giovannini and Robin Moe are staying out.
Demler and Karjay in the 27 and the 913 also both in the pits. The 27 now leaving those pits, being the first of the bronze drivers to make a pit.
So this is going to be interesting at the front because obviously everyone knows the strategy of an undercut.
Yes.
So is Giovannini going to go in now, or is he going to use this clean air?
Oh, two cars sideways out of Ravazza. Sorry to cut you off.
Oh, we're going to jump back on the replay there. It was Nicholas Van Gelder and Daniel Scott by the look of it.
Lap traffic.
So someone's gone off. It was Nicholas. He's come back on circuit. Oh, and he's just lost it coming back on. And Daniel Scott just collected him there. That was... Oh... Nicholas just tried to get back on the circuit and just lost the rear end, so both of them into the pit lane. So too is the 28 car of Giovannini. Robin Moe is staying out, so could he be trying to do an overcut on both of them? That is going to be very interesting.
Now, I think the big thing here is this going to be a retiring of the 128 car?
I don't know.
Is this going to keep going?
This has been the second, let's say, setback Daniel Scott has had. First the stop-go penalty, and now that. I mean, the collision was, at least from what I could see, just unfortunate. I don't think there was malice there from Nicholas just trying to get back out. I think he just might have just put the foot down a bit early and just lost the rear end of the car. And Daniel possibly just wrong place at the wrong time. As the pit strategy looks like it has worked for Christian. He's come out ahead of Giovannini, but only a 2-second gap. So that gap has actually lowered down during his pit stop. It's looking like it's at about 1.4, 1.5. So around half the gap.
Yeah, gap's falling all over the racetrack right now. Number 9 has Miguel Cox coming out of the pits.
Robin Moe staying out again. So is he going 20-minute end?
Yeah, well, that probably also is the plan for Ushuizen, who's just come into the pits before the start of their next lap. Or is he probably going to try and do maybe a 20, 25, 15? Try and get a little bit extra life out of the tyres?
An update on the 128 car. Daniel Scott is staying out.
He's left the pits now, so he's going to let Robin pass. But no more pits for Scott. He can make it to the end, 40 minutes.
He can just go, which might actually be a little bit of a blessing in disguise. Because if he can do a substantial amount of catching up, he might be able to salvage something from this. As Frederick Schoblem into P2 overall.
Yeah, Zachary the kill in those pits. So Frederick's going to get that net P2.
And Chris trying to get past Arends. He does, so too does Giovannini. But that gap now behind between the BMW and the Porsche is looking very tight. It is 0.6 between them as Chris hits the sand. That is going to slow him down. That is not going to help. But he looks like he has only lost a tiny bit off of it. We're on the rear wing now of the Porsche. That car looks like it's actually got a really good amount of getaway power. As that gap has actually widened a little bit now. And it is just accordioning through the corners and then in, then out, up and down.
Got some incredible torque on the Porsche. Very, very floaty. Not something floaty. Grips up really nicely out of some mid-speed corners. It's going to be a very interesting race. And Robin Moe in the pits.
He has been in the pit 45 seconds. The quickest pit stop time we've had was 1:14.
So hope with Chris
he's
coming
finished.
around Ravaz and Robin Moe's on the move.
This is a 32-second stop. 32 seconds being the tied quickest that we've had so far. So that was just tyres. No damage, no nothing, just tyres. There, so let's see what's going to happen.
Can he get up to speed?
Is he going to get up to speed? Christian is coming down the straight. I think he might do it. Depends, is Christian going to try down the inside? No, he doesn't.
Fresh tyres.
Robin Moe is at the minute in the lead of Platinum as Frederick Schoblem has another pit stop to make. So that from third to first in class after the pit stop cycle.
That is absolutely insane. It timed it really well. I think he knew exactly when he wanted to pit. It was probably said I'm going to pit one lap after the person who's nearest me on the track, and it's just worked out for him. He's been able to gun it in his last lap.
By my count, he went an extra 2 from Giovannini.
So 2 laps from Giovannini, probably an extra couple of laps from Christopher. And now they are all in a second again. That shows you how close the margins are in this kind of race.
And Christian is going to have a very, very big fight on his hands now. Because he's got Robin Moe ahead. Robin Moe, seasoned RP Series winner. Multiple time winner. Race winner. I can't remember if Robin has had a championship or not. I can't quite remember. Oh, there's contact! Chris is round! Christian's round! Giovannini has to slow down! That is going to be the worst thing that could have happened. There, it looked like there was just contact between the Porsche and the Honda. We're gonna jump on the rear wing of the Honda. So you can see Robin Moe down the inside. Christian has a look, but it's not open there. And then in, it's just, that is not what he would have wanted at all. I can't quite tell, but there was rear quarter to front quarter contact, and that just sent the Porsche round.
Yeah, it looks like it was unfortunate positioning. He was kind of giving a little bit of space. Porsche goes up the inside, kind of doesn't. That's one the stewards are going to have to look at. Had a couple of cars involved. That is a huge contact. Didn't need to happen. You've got the time. You're driving against someone. The 951 isn't on the same race plan as you are. You don't have to try and push around them. Yeah, you might lose a bit of time, but you lost so much more by pushing it and having the mistake happen.
Yeah, but Jack, you're missing something. It's easy for us to say that, but I'm sure we've both been in positions in the car. I know I have, where it's just car ahead of me, I need car behind me.
Yeah, but that's just a very I'm kind of getting it from someone that most does oval racing, right? Like I'm more than happy to see a car in front of me. I know they're going to be slower. I can push them. I can work with them to make both our races better and safer. It's just
right, you're different because you just turn left. Right, okay. I mean proper racing.
White boy. Yeah, proper racing. Yeah, proper racing where you drive around the streets of Monaco for 2 hours and nothing happens.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, proper racing.
In circuit racing,
yeah.
You do see car ahead and you're like, it's sort of a case of caveman brain. It's like car ahead, car must be behind.
Why are you here? Your fault, not mine. But no, it even happened like today, like big crash at Monaco. It's just a case of just take your time. You've got, I know we're almost halfway through. It's a sprint race, not an endurance, so you do kind of want to get that position, but it's not someone you're racing for position. It's someone you're racing to just get past them, and at that point, just hold off 30 seconds. You'll get them. I think Chris is a good few tenths faster than Schroeder, who hasn't pitted yet, by the way. I'm not sure if he's been informed that you have to pit twice.
He's still out. One thing I have been told about Frederick is hasn't got a setup today.
Doesn't have a setup today. Doesn't have a setup at any point.
No, so if he runs
aggressive, doesn't change fuel, and is good to go.
If he runs out of fuel, we have been asked to point it out. Oh, there's contact! Round goes the Honda!
This is why you just need. Yeah, this is what happens when you have different skill, like, you know, different driver comfortabilities driving next to each other.
Bang!
Contact happens. I'm not, again, students are going to have to look at that again. No idea what happened. Turns in, the space isn't given. Does he get the call? Does the radar show it? We'll never know. I'll never tell.
With everything that's happened thus far, I do just want to point out, Kovacs is up to P4.
Yes. Kovacs had an absolutely worldly of a pit stop. Is now P4 overall and P4 in class. 7 seconds up the road from Chris. Big
and being
gaps now
chased down
forming.
by an angry South African. So you
Angry
know,
South African in a British engineered American muscle car.
yes, there is probably a joke there somewhere that I can't quite figure out off the top of my head.
Probably involves bars and walking into them.
Yes, most likely, and saying something or other, you know.
We'll figure that out in the after show, you know.
As we've got a name in the chat as well, Jack, that I'm sure you'll remember. Mr. President, Ivan Barak.
Yes, Mr. Barach. I hope you are having a wonderful day. I hope all the pieces are falling in place for you today. Absolutely amazing human. Wish you could see him driving more often.
As you were saying that, Jurgen's down the inside at Aqua Minerale on Kovacs. Moves up to 4th overall.
Has he made the move stick? Oh, Jurgens, what a beauty. That green and purple monster of a car looks absolutely stunning. The Dark Horse.
From the
very
British
proud
team
on the
of
roadside.
Cookie No Livery Racing Tech.
Yes, no livery needed. Just dunk it in some green paint, get a couple of cans of purple on the back end. All good to go.
To be fair, right, if you're wanting to run a racing team on a budget, livery is somewhere you can cut back on. Designers cost a bit of money.
It looks like Kick Sauber got a Welch's purple grape juice sponsorship on the rear bumper. or Robinson. Sorry, I'll be more culturally British.
Ribena.
Ribena, yeah, Ribena sponsorship. Sorry.
Fruit shoot.
Fruit shoot. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Robinson's fruit shoot.
Because I'm pretty sure fruit shoot do an apple flavour as well. That's great.
Well, they do an orange one, so you can have the teammate have the orange bumper.
Obviously, other child's drinks brands are available.
I myself,
I prefer Capri Sun because I like having the straw. The straw is neat. I like that. I'm 23 years old and I will still buy a Capri Sun. Okay.
I was gonna say it's because you're Gen Z.
Right. I am 23 years old. I will still buy a Capri Sun, my guy.
whereas my idea of fruit juice now is the juiced Monster energy drink.
Yeah,
I
don't
Mango
like
Loco. Mango Loco
No.
gets me through work.
No.
No, not a fan of energy drinks.
Mate, I drink 2 cans of Monster a day. Original will get in the bin.
Ooh. Oh, have you tried the essentially like Monster Zero? I think
Yes,
it tastes
it's
better
horrible.
than original. I think it tastes better than original Monster. It doesn't taste like battery acid going down your throat.
I like the battery acid taste.
Speaking of battery acid, looking at the no livery keg makes you want to drink it. Robin, we're getting through some lap traffic. Aaron's giving him the inside, giving him a little wiggle. As my wonderful smartwatch is telling me to get up and walk, but that would mean I would miss out some amazing racing. And also the 27, the Jägermeister liveried Alexander Karge car from Austria going to the pits for their second pit stop. So they'll be our second driver to get out twice.
For some reason, a livery that I don't have working.
Yeah, I think it's I assume it's the Jägermeister livery because it's the Jägermeister team. Not working on my end either, but you know, it do be like that.
That's just how it be.
It's Scooby Dooby Dooby like that.
Scooby Dooby Dooby like that. As we see Zachary now chasing down Frederick Choplam, who is still yet to pit.
Someone get on this man's radio and tell him he's got 2 more pit stops to make and has 28 minutes left. I'm not doing it.
Everyone else has pitted at least once. Some people twice. And he's still out in P7. He hasn't pitted yet. Like, I would hope, right, if I had managed to stay out all this time while everyone else has had to pit, that I would at least have like a 1-lap lead.
Yeah, he should really not be where he is. I'll be honest. There's there not to be overly harsh, but it's
Yes, we didn't have the budget to hire James Hunt, so it's just us.
Why would we want James Hunt?
I don't know, wasn't he the brutal F1 commentator at one point?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know, one of them was. I don't know, but right, anyway, going back to what we're doing, Kaj has finished his pit stop, so Scott and Kargi,
Yeah.
Kaj, there we go, has finished his pit stop, which means 2 drivers now are running completely out on their own, having taken their 2 pit stops. Daniel Scott in amongst that moved up to 16th position with only a 1 minute 30 gap.
Only. How long is a lap around here, my fine sir?
Currently the best lap thus far is a 141.5.
So yeah, only got a massive gap to the car in front. No, it's all okay. We've got some time left. You can potentially make it up with pit stops, like you said. It's got 1 minute 30 gap.
Coming in for number 2 now.
Well, pit stop number 2, probably controller number 4 at this point.
Tom Stick 12.
Is this one of those fancy ones that have the hot swappable pump sticks, you know?
He would need it. If they're not hot swappable at this point, they probably will be, because they'll just fall off.
I think that's called... I don't know if that's hot swappable if you have to repair it quickly, not that but it's not meant to, you know?
I mean, technically it is a hot swap when you think about it.
Yeah. Yes. We'll hot swap some things.
When you think about it, is having to quickly repair and replace something a hot swap? I would say yes. Leave your answers in the stream chat. Am I right or is Jack right?
Is Huski right or am I wrong?
Yes, because the only correct answer is that I'm right. Obviously. See, correct. See, you agree with me. That was the correct answer. Well done. You have proven my point.
Well, number 27 car seems to have had some issues. Red causing a yellow with a man about to come round.
Here. Oh, he's just hit the inside yellow curb a bit too hard into turn 2. Nose
He's not
into the barrier. So, Kaj, it's gonna be battling with a tiny bit of front end damage. Doesn't look like there's a lot of steering damage there, however.
Yeah, I think for RP Series Season 12, which I hope we can get some other wonderful people watching us involved in that, if they're not already, we should just start asking people to send a little voice recording of how their name's pronounced in with their lap times, and we can just make sure that we're not having any issues with that.
I have asked that before, and I got about 2 responses.
I have the power to make it mandatory. Bet you in the summer.
You see Christian look there up the inside Aqua Minerale on Kaj. So he's got 3.2 seconds to that BMW ahead. That collision they had earlier on caused them both to lose a whole heap of time, because the gap between Giovannini and Mo, P2 and 3, is 10.5 seconds.
That is a huge gap. That's pretty much any mistake you could make other than getting a stop-go covered. As we say that, James Andrews swings the pits for his second off that big spin. An absolute worldie of an effort.
You say any mistake other than a stop-go. What about a drive-through?
Oh, that's fine. Just drive through the pits really fast. It's not that much of a penalty.
Yeah, and then get a stop-go instead.
Perfect. Speaking of stops, Giovanni has gone into the pit stops and Chris has followed him. He is going to lockstep in with that BMW, let Robin to his own devices essentially work together as James comes out of the pits in 13th.
But now let's see who has the pickup power there to react to the car being dropped to go, because 32 seconds is the standard non-damage time, but I'm unsure if these guys might have damage from their earlier tussle.
Well, I'm pretty sure Chris must have a little bit, whether or not he decides to take that repair or not.
Yeah, Giovannini is out, and so too is Chris. No, both of them. A 32-second stop on the nose.
Yeah, so slightly longer stint for Chris, so he's got to use an extra lap of his tyres from the previous stint. But this is going to be very, very interesting to watch.
Yeah, this is now going to be a case of running it, because the gap ahead for these guys now to the leader is 1 minute and 24 seconds and 1 minute and 27 apiece.
So they're going to need to gain about 15 seconds each.
Yeah,
the
average total line to line has been 1 minute 14.
So not too much. They've only lost a couple of seconds, but I think the more scary thing is you've got Robin Moe coming up to lap them, but the person that he's pushing along is Kovac. So that's not going to be a slouch anyway. He's going to get the drag down the long straights. He's not going to get held up too much in the corners, as you might expect by normal lap traffic. Ushausen and Zachary are now both in the pits as well. Overall P2 for Ushausen.
And an update, Schoblem still has to pit.
Twice.
This has been your Schoblem update. People are taking their final stops. Frederick still hasn't taken his first.
He's P2 overall. His pit stops will take a couple of laps out of him. Realistically, he should probably pit now. I'm trying to get a message to him. Unfortunately, he's not sitting in one of our wonderful lounges for to race to. And I don't have any way to access messaging straight to our drivers. So he's just going to be there. He's going to have to deal with it. I hope he's got a warning.
Yep, he is gonna test how much... how far he can go without pitting, and then doing, I think, 2 in the quickest succession, and seeing where he finishes on that.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. 913 of Demler now leaving the pits with the 256 of Akil, both finishing their last pit stops. The number 9 of Miguel Koch, a couple laps down, but in the pits, taking his last 21. Yellow flag again. The exit of Agua Mineral, he is going under his own steam again. This is all okay.
Let's have a gander at what happened there for Nicholas. The replay just cuts in afterwards. I'm guessing he likely hit either the curb or the sand a bit too hot and just sent the car around.
Yeah, rear tyre hits the inside of that last part, and you're going to go end up there. Luckily, close enough to the escape road, you can get back on track nice and safely.
Yeah, so not really much of an issue there for Nicholas, but probably not the best of things for the tyres at this stage. He still has one stop to make, so you know, can put a clean set of tyres on without risking too much. As Robin Moe into the pit lane now, he has got a gap of a whole minute essentially to Shoblan behind. Around a minute 17 to Lux and Giovannini, so almost as pretty much a free pit stop there that Robin Moe has.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on if Giovannini or Lux kind of catch up the positions there, but they're now coming round T9 before they can really do anything else. They're going to have to get through Rally, Alta, Ravazza. It's going to be tough. It's going to be very, very tough to get that done. Who's the other car?
There's a bit of a tussle there between the two McLarens, I think it is. Demler and Ahrens. We're just going to have a quick look at this. Into turn 2. Oh, Demler tries down the inside, and Ahrens there covers it off, and they just make contact. It's down the inside at Tozer for Ian Demler with a BMW. What car has the speed down the straight? It looks like the McLaren got a better exit, and through the kink, it looks like Demler is going to get it done. Yes, he is.
Nice.
Now moving further up.
Easy.
Robin Moe, 9.9 seconds between himself and Giovannini.
Yeah, he's made an absolute worldie of it.
But
he's
here
not the leader overall, though.
No, here we've got a free 4-car battle. In fact, Ahrens, Demler, Akil, and Andrews. Bronze, silver, respectively. So Andrews is wanting to get up to Demler. Akil is wanting to get up to Ahrens.
Ahrens still has a pit stop to make, so that's going to release Demler when that happens. And then it is going to be Akil and Demler.
Indeed, but down the inside goes Demler. Akil is trying to follow. What's going to happen here? He's made the move. Stick James Andrews contact between the Mustang and the McLaren. The McLaren goes, fine, I'm going into the pits now anyway.
Yeah. Again, one of those things of you can go side by side there. Number 27 is well off Agua Minerali. Number 27 has to get towed. Luckily, there is a marshal spot there, but can we see what happened to the
we
number
can
27?
Indeed. This is into Aqua Minerale. Oh, that wasn't a 27. The 27 was Carge. For some reason it cut me into the thing. Yes, we will. Let's get a look here towards what happened with the 27 of Carge towards Aqua Minerale. So this is just now coming down the straight towards. We'll have a look here at what happens. It is the BMW, the black BMW that we're looking at. He hits the first curbs. Oh! That marshal there with the flag is the bravest marshal I have ever seen.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, he sees the car just there. Like I said, luckily there's the marshal post there. Get the car out of the way. No need for any extra flags or cautions. But a magical, wonderful thing has happened. Mr. Frederick Schlomblum has made a pit stop with 14 minutes left in the race.
Give me
A message must have got to his race engineer with the format.
The appropriate reaction.
You're very far away.
Woo!
Let's see what he does now. So, Jennings in the pits as well for his final stop, which will be...
I have to take my headphones off to do that.
Yeah, so Schlomblum is out with so one more pit stop left It is for Cheva, the 951 Honda GT3, absolutely beautiful machine.
As we see, I'm just going to cut you off here. This is now the battle that we're looking at. James Andrews got his way past Demler. So James Andrews up to 1, 2, 3, third position in silver class.
Yeah, making that move thick. Next car up the road is Schwabman, but that should be out of the way for him shortly. Now he's got a bit of a run to Pagani, so that is a good 10-15 seconds up the road. Probably not got the time to make it, but that is a third step after a massive contact right at the start of the race. He should be very proud of that.
Yeah, indeed. You know, Demler is still going to be looking and trying to find a way round that Ford, but James is looking very racy now. I think that contact earlier might have just put him in the mode of, right, we're doing this. And now they're doing it. If that makes sense, obviously.
Not in the slightest. Sorry, I'm completely out of it. No, so there's some interesting things going to happen. I am not one of them.
As in the contact earlier has likely put him in the mood of, right, let's race, let's go.
Oh yeah, no. James Andrews is a man of sheer determination.
I know with me, after a collision early on or anything like that, it as someone I work with says, who does boxing, I can sort of relate it. One of the people I work with says, in boxing, me getting punched in the face makes me fight harder. Me in racing, mistakes and issues make me race harder.
See, if I get into contact in an oval race, I just want to curl up in a ball with a nice blanket and a couple of Ovaltine. Because those contacts are terrifying. I would like a little nap now, if that's okay, good sir.
One day, I think what we need to do is get you racing ovals in VR.
Oh, see, I do use VR for ovals, but only for IndyCar, which is worse.
Oh, yeah. Right, yeah, probably not ideal. We're just sat there going, ah! Just imagine. I just imagine the worst thing. If iRacing had proximity chat, you just see a crash, you just set a camera, and you just hear you going, ah!
Oh no, it has race chat.
No, I mean like proximity chat. So like all you can hear from the replay camera is just see this car flipping and then just hear you go, ah! And then just hear it go.
Yeah. No, I like it when you just listen and go, ah, in the voice chat in iRacing, and then you hear the caution come out.
Yeah.
It's my favourite.
But as you see, we're now in the last 10 minutes. Schoblam still has one pit stop to go. And James Andrews right up the bumper of that Honda.
Yeah, it makes the Mustang makes a lot of the other GT3 cars look like GT4s. The Honda is a victim of this. If it wasn't for the diffuser that looks like Edward Scissorhands that car has, it would look like a GT4 car.
As James is looking for a way around, but doesn't quite have it yet, I don't think. That Honda is putting up a good fight. I mean, you can see there in the onboard rear view camera just how close that Ford is getting. It's just like, hello, big sniff.
He's
and then it just goes
it.
away again. We call the BMW the big sniffer, but I think this Ford being piloted by James is going to take that title for this race.
Yeah, it has the kind of sniffing potential of a Henry Hoover. Is I think how we could phrase that without resorting to innuendo. However, I think the big thing is the Mustang, or the new GT3 Mustang, has its pedigree from the Ford Performance Dark Horse, which is a NASCAR team as well. So it just wants to be right behind you, wants to bump you, wants to push you out of the way. And the Honda should be terrified of that happening because it will kill it.
We've just had in the Discord chat. This is from Kaj. I was so concentrated on my fuel count that I didn't realise I had to brake.
You know what? I think that's driver of the day for Alex Kaj. Absolutely flawless victory. The Marshal must have needed. But here's something interesting in the final minutes of the race. I said about James Andrews having to chase down Pagani. That being something that was quite difficult. Well, Pagani has just received a drive-through for track violations. He's had his warnings. Stewards have told him naughty, naughty, and have waggled the big finger of a drive-through at him. That should give James Andrews an extra position.
The question is, a drive-through is, quick, do some math.
About 40 seconds. 38 to 36 seconds. Just under 40.
So 38 to 36, that's going to be the difference.
Very close.
The time.
Those 20 seconds are definitely going to lose. Pagani's going to lose at least 2 positions to Demler. I don't know if Jennings is going to have the time to catch up.
Pagani isn't taking it now, though.
Pagani can take it in a couple of laps. He's going to push these tyres. Because he's only really going to have a lap or 2 to do once he comes out of it. So push it now. Tiptoe around the last lap, but, you know, pushing it afterwards, you know, because they're going to cool down quite low. The tyres are going to cool down quite a bit during that drive-through. So,
Jack, do we have a driver of the day today? Then
I've got a couple of candidates. I think for just putting that car where it really needed to be for the race. I think Jürgen Zushausen has to have a shout. But also, my heart is kind of wanting to give it to Kovac. Doing this well, this consistently with a controller.
Yeah. I also I have a category which is the driver who has put the car in the completely wrong place but somehow played it off really well, and that would go to Kaj if that was my choice in that category.
Yeah, I think just really, really strong drive from Pagani as well up into this drive-through. Has been absolutely putting in incredible laps. There's a lot of good drivers. I think purely just for where they were able to get the car, I think for me it has to go to the number 12 Ford Mustang, Jürgen Zushausen. For me, that's my driver of the day. You know it's good when you don't see them on camera.
Watch as DT rolls up.
Oh no.
That would be massive commentators curse. It's like every time in endurance races I put someone on camera, something seems to happen.
So I think the big commentator's curse, and this is now, I believe, if pray Jesus all of your many touching words and crossing fingers, as the Pagani comes in to serve the penalty, and Daniel Scott looks like he's retiring the car.
And James Andrews has got himself round, so too has Demler and Schoblen, and Akil is going to go past as well.
That's a big group.
That is P7 down to P11.
Big jump. Not what you want to be getting this late in the race, but there's a small commentator's curse that is being brought up a few times more so. But whenever I seem to commentate a race that involves the one and only Robin Moe, does seem to keep winning them. I don't know if he's trying to impress me, if he needs if he needs a visa or something, but that man seems to have the best drives of his life when I am saying random words over the footage of his car going around.
And today, to be fair, he had a very, very good battle with Giovannini and has just made those pit stops work for him. That first one especially. What a bit of thinking there to make that overcut work and go, here's the gap I've got, here's how I can make it work now, and just executing it.
Yeah, it's just absolutely amazing what's going on. It's just it's pretty much on a worldie of a race. Also should have been in the shout for driver of the day. I think completely valid option to give it to the race winner when he's just had to have that a really solid fight with it as well.
For sure. As we do get confirmation that Daniel Scott has retired from the race.
Yeah, always not always a good thing to see drivers who feel like their race is over with such a little amount of time, but might have been a combination of damage or how the driver's feeling. We can't know for sure. We'll have to catch up with him and we'll let you know once we know what's going on with that car.
As Shoblem is pitting with 3 minutes and 4 seconds left in the race. So it looks like he is going to come out P3 in class. Maybe P4, depending on how Greg Aarons does. The 33 Antwerp Aces car. But with 2 minutes 40 seconds left, as long as nothing major happens, I think Robin Moe might be just starting to relax a little bit now, going, I've got this in the bag.
Yeah, 11 seconds of gap is more than enough for what's going to be 2 more laps. Maybe even 1 more lap at the end of this. Depends on if he wants to slow it down a little bit. A bit risky to do so. Schwalben has made his second pit stop. Is now in P12. So has come out just behind Koch, just in front of Aarons. Lots of gap either way for him.
We've had a question in the chat. What were Daniel Scott's lap times like? Would the early stop have worked without the SG30? I think really the early stop would have worked. We saw a few drivers take it on. I mean, Kovacs took it on. Quite a couple of drivers did. James Andrews as well sort of got pushed onto the early stop strategy, but he's made it work very well. I think it would have worked if he wouldn't have got the stop go 30, to be honest. A short, a middle, and then a short stint again.
Yeah, and that kind of thing can also take the mental out of the driver as well. Come in with a plan, make the early stop, go from there, push, and then just seeing the stop go 30 pop up, it's just going to take you out of what that was for, and cooling down the tyres again, not being where you want them. It can be rough. Would have been probably a solid top 3 finish in the correct category if he could pull it off.
Yeah, I mean,
brutal.
Looking back at the qualifying, that was very, very good from Daniel Scott there. I think he would have had the pace for that top 3. Probably would have been, if he wouldn't have had the issues, might have been fighting at this point with James Andrews or Jurgens, to be fair. Either one of those I think he would have been if he wouldn't have had that stop go 30.
Yeah, well, unfortunately a lot of racing is ifs, but speaking of ifs, ands or buts, 8 seconds left on the race. Robin Moe coming around the second Ravazza.
Is he going to slow down? That is the question. Or is he going to put us
I don't think he needs to. It's zeros.
He isn't going to have to. So, for race number 3, across the line to take the victory comes Robin Moe, the number 3 Boatley. And just coming around now to take P2 is William Giovannini, the 28 car. And P3 in Platinum and overall goes to Christian Lutz. Which means that as he comes round, the 4th overall car to cross the line is the No Livery Racing Keck number 12 of Jurgens Oosthuizen to take the win of silver. And Kovacs, 4th in class, 5th overall.
On a controller. It's absurd.
On a controller.
It looks like Akil also, just huge position on the track, is going to be bringing home the top step of the bronze with Miguel Koch. Miguel coming back. P9 in the Ferrari. P2 finish on the number 9. very, very good in the Italian race for this season.
The Italian race. What, have you made it into a championship now?
What? We've got loads of races upcoming.
Oh yeah, we
Have you not
have.
seen this amazing calendar?
To be fair, I thought there was a second Italian race. I can't lie. Look, my brain is not working.
I actually don't know what the rest of the season is. I will be completely honest with you.
Great. As Demler comes in to take third place in the silver class. So here is your final standings. In platinum, taking the victory was Robin Moe. Second was Giovannini. Third was Christian Luck. Fourth was Kovacs. And fifth was Zachary. In silver, taking the victory of that class was Jurgens Oosthuizen in the 12. Followed by James Andrews in the 74. Demler in the 913. And Jennings in the 99. Then in bronze, Akil takes the victory. Followed by Miguel Koch. Frederick Schoblem, who finally took his pit stops. Greg Aarons and a Nicholas Angelou lining off that grid.
Well, it was an absolutely amazing race. While we take, I guess, a short break, getting the interviews ready. That was any final thoughts on the race from yourself, Husky?
No, that race was what I thought was going to happen. To be fair, there was a lot of what's the word? Lot of different tyre strategies going on. Lot of different things happening. So I think I can round that off as a good race.
Absolutely fine. Well, we will. If you're okay, that's good. We'll be right back in a couple of minutes with hopefully with some interviews.
Yes, we will be.
All right, that's it, Karen. Yep.
And Jack has just dropped out on us. So first things first, we are going to get in Robin McMo to give us the first interview of the day. Hello, Robin.
Hello, Huski.
So that race for you were running in third until the sort of end of the first stint. How was it from your perspective?
It's difficult to describe. Like, I felt like quali I maximized, so like there was a bit more in it, but I don't think I had the pole position pace in me. But in the race, like with every pit stop, I felt like I gained pace and confidence in the car, and I wasn't expecting to take the lead. I don't really know what happened in the pits because I was like 4 seconds behind Chris, and somehow I leapfrogged all of them. But ever since that pit stop and me getting that first place, like I wasn't looking back anymore. I just could extend the pace, go further and further, build the gap. It was really nice to drive in the end, and yeah, I went pretty much unchallenged for the last half an hour, I think.
And your battle that you were having with Giovannini, what a battle that looked like from the outside. What was it like inside? Were you just going, oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord? Or were you like, yeah, come on, let's have it?
He was not leaving me much space, and I kind of respect that because you want to have those fights where it's like very close, almost touching. In two cases we actually did touch a bit. I was a bit annoyed he pushed me off, but I got him afterwards, so I'm not too mad about it. But yeah, I was relishing that. It was really good.
And how did you actually find? Because I think this is the first race this season we've done something like this. The 2-stop single tank challenge, as I'm going to call it.
I really liked it. Gonna be honest, we had a couple of races in the past in previous seasons where the rule set was a bit different and stuff, but this felt from a driving perspective really cool. Like I know it's a bit unrealistic having these like 20-minute stints in real life and stuff, but I felt like it added so much strategy. Like, I did an overcut, other people did an undercut. You didn't know what was gonna happen, where you would come out, how the pace would develop throughout the race. In general the pace got a lot quicker because the fuel load wore off, but from my perspective as a driver, it was very nice and was a lot of fun to have these like kind of options to play around with.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on your race win, Robin. Obviously, I think you were quite happy to hear that Kovacs was on the controller today. Do you think we're going? Do you think when he's back on the wheel, we're going to see more fighting between you two?
Yeah, I think I extended the lead in the championship a bit today, right? Like I don't know exactly, but I think I was tied with Kovacs before this, so I must have extended. I don't think this is over yet, because Kovacs is an incredible driver, and when he gets his gear, and he will get it next week, and he will have his like upgraded equipment and all that for the rest of the season, it's going to be a very tight fight. It's a shame Dark and Tom weren't here today. Like I know they have like other stuff that they were doing today, but I don't think this fight is over yet, and it's going to carry on until the end of the season. And I hope it will be close, because we all deserve that, to get a close fight.
Well, congratulations on the race win. Congratulations on the race win, Robin. When I put my teeth back in my head. Who knows? Maybe next week. In 2 weeks' time. Next race. That's what I was meant to say. We will see you again. But until then, good night and congratulations.
Thank you, and thank you for the commentary, and good night. See you
in a bit. So that was Robin Moe, winner of the Platinum class. Let's get someone in who I don't believe I have spoken to yet this season. Hello, Akil.
Hello.
So, the win in the bronze class in the BMW, how did the race go from your perspective today?
It was pretty fun. The refueling restriction was pretty fun in terms of strategy, but it was a lot of praying for me because I was on 3 track warnings before the first pit stop. So I tried to kind of cut my pace a little bit to make sure I don't get another track warning. But yeah, it went better than I ever expected.
And the BMW round here, we were talking a lot about how the Mustang could eat curbs and the Bentley could eat curbs as well. Could the BMW eat curbs, or were you having to be a bit more gentle with them?
I have been a little bit gentle, but there have been times where I really attack the curbs, and I think it works, but like for the most part. And yeah, you just got to be like a bit careful on how you attack the curb. But yeah, I think it's pretty good.
And a curious question I have, right, which you may have the answer for, you may not. If you do, then that'd be great. How much fuel did you finish the race with?
I finished it with 20 liters of fuel. I took a bit too much.
So, at least with the taking too much, you weren't going to run out. That is an upside, because I'm pretty sure it would have been probably quite embarrassing to run out.
Yeah.
But looking to the rest of the season, we're at the 3rd race, which, if I am correct, if my math is working correctly, that means we are at the halfway point after today. Obviously, we are only 2 races deep on the scoring. However, today it should put you up to P6. I want to. So, how do you think the rest of the season is going to go for you? Because first scoring race of the season at the halfway point. Got Kiel Army, Nordschleifer, and the Red Bull Ring left. How do you feel about your chances?
It'll be tough. It'll be tight. But yeah, I'll give it my best. We'll see how it goes.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on the race win. Who knows? In 2 weeks' time, you might be coming and talking to me again.
I hope so.
Have a good evening and congrats on the race win, mate.
Thank you.
And that was Can Akil, the winner of the bronze class. And now the driver who I think we can say kept out of trouble in the silver class today from the British team running the American car in with the South African driver, the team of Cookie No Livery Racing Tech. It's Jurgen Zuscheisen. Hello, Jurgen.
Hello.
So, how did the race go for you then? Because I'm pretty sure you weren't involved in any major strife today.
I wish I could say that. On the whole, almost. We got really, really close. I was involved in a turn 1 incident with James Andrews. That we'll definitely have to look at again. But besides that, the race was pretty clean, yeah. After kind of the first lap, it was just chasing after, I think it's Pagani. I want to just double check that it's not like Pagani. Pagani, yes. I was just chasing after him, tried to pass him, and then just trying to manage pace. I picked up warnings kind of in thirds increments throughout the race. So you know how the race got split into thirds for most people who pitted at 20 and then 20. I picked up a warning, in each of those. And then by the end, I was just kind of trying to tiptoe around, like biting my nails every time I went vaguely near the track limits. But overall, it was all right. The pace was good for the level of practice, yeah.
And with the race being split up into thirds, how did you find the whole one tank challenge sort of thing?
It was not too bad, to be honest. In terms of practice, I basically just... what did I do? Yeah, for practice for this race, I just practiced high fuel the whole time. Because I had a feeling the balance wouldn't change too much when it ran out of fuel. So it was just a nice it was a nice feeling to just get faster as the race went on. Because, the car's getting lighter the whole time, but every now and then you slap new tires on it and go faster again. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, it was not too bad having to, not refuel.
And when words are hard. As I said in a previous interview, the race win today should, when I can do some quick maths, will extend your lead in the Silver Championship.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you think, with 3 races left to go, you've taken what would be 3 of 3 race wins in the silver class? Do you think you're going to keep that on for the rest of the season, or do you think we're going to see a fight towards the end of it?
There will probably be a fight. I'm trying to look at the dates for the next couple of races because I don't know if I'm going to be here for all of them. I'll probably, fingers crossed, be here for Kailami. However, I expect everyone else to be like the same pace, if not faster than me. I always struggle around there. I know, national pride and all that, I should be good.
Yeah, home circuit,
Yeah, but it's, not the fastest, so I'll have to put some practice in for that. Nordschleife will be interesting because I've not actually driven it in ACC yet. I've driven it a lot in Series and other sims, but I've only practiced GT4 there, so that'll be a bit of a shock swapping around to there, so that could be anything. And then Red Bull Ring, again, I've not really driven, so there's 2 tracks on there that I've not driven in this class of car, and 1 that I'm not great at. So we'll definitely see, plus the possibility of missing races. So I wouldn't say the championship is all wrapped up just yet.
Fair enough. Well, Cookie, congratulations on the race win. I'm not going to butcher your name anymore, because you've told me a million times how to pronounce it, and I still never get it right. So congratulations on the race win. who knows? Maybe at Kiel Army, you might be coming at your home race and lifting the title. Not the title. To be fair, it could actually be mathematically possible. I'll need to do the math. It could be lifting the race winner's trophy at your technical home race. So until then, congratulations on the race win and have a good evening.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the stream.
In a bit. Good luck. And that was Jurgens Oosthuizen, the winner of Silver Class. So that leaves now just the final part of the stream to do. To thank everybody in the chat who has been watching live with me and everybody who watches the replay in the future. We will be back on the 9th of June for the next round at Kiel Army. Until then, I've been Huski. I have been joined by my right honourable friend, Jack.